Hi guys, today's video is about how to learn the basics of watercolor. Hey guys, this video is about how a beginner should learn to do the watercolors even they don't have any teachers. Basically I am also relearning some of the basics of watercolor because first of all it's because of this particular technique which is followed by everyone throughout the world, which is an impressionistic technique rather than this kind of technique or this kind of technique. And this is quite famous and very interesting, and there are several reasons for why I would want to do this kind of watercoloring. First of all is the technique itself. Second is the way the colors are done to improve my way of doing the coloring in my oil paintings, to add more colors to them, color variations. And also third is the way the negative shapes are being portrayed. So this is one area which I think I need to improve more, and watercolor is the best way to do this. I have been following Milind Malik's book. I have several of them, and this is watercolor landscape step by step by Milind Malik from Jyotsna Prakashan. And it's quite a unique book because and it has a very simplistic watercolor techniques as well as very difficult ones. So I want to do all the pictures from the level 1 to the last level, which are more difficult to follow. I want to do it twice because the first time I would make a lot of mistakes, and second time I'll improve, then I'll move to another book. And it's important that you should follow any books or pictures from your favorite artist, and make sure that the artist that you follow is of renown and produces excellent quality paintings. So this book is quite unique, and it has some very simplistic ones. So I wrote down numbers. So initially it talks about what watercolor is, and there are very simplistic techniques. So I numbered them, and gradually I progressed through them, and this has you know helped me to broaden my horizon a little bit, because I do this kind of painting, but this will give me a very different perspective in painting, and will be very helpful to free my brushstrokes and approach to painting, because this is more open to interpretation. What I do is more towards realism or creating an illusion of realism, but this is impressionism quite clearly. So this is the I'm copying mostly all of these paintings that he has done in this. Then I'll move to another book. This book will be followed twice. I think this is a very good approach to do a difficult medium like watercolor, and some of the results are very evident now, because I'll start from the beginning. I'm improving gradually. I'm not just copying him the way he has painted, I'm also following or adding my own stuff as well. So you can see that it's improving, and I have been gaining control over this medium. So there will be some errors, but gradually I'll be better in dealing with this kind of style. This also involves some of very, this has negative shapes a lot. This was done today, and there are many more. I don't want to show everything, and this was also done today. So they all look nice and satisfactory. These are watercolors. So what I think you should, or one should do, is to gain pure 300 GSM watercolor papers, and this is 300 GSM. And this is a good size to do the watercolors. So I'll finish all the papers, then I'll buy the next lot, then I'll do the same, and gain more experience. These are watercolor very rough paper, and I like these papers. And also, you don't need to have too many items for this kind of an exercise. This is an exercise. You're copying from a master. You're not creating your own paintings. So what I do is, these are my own brushes. I have one pencil and eraser, and this is the most used brush, believe it or not. I do all the basic layering with this brush, and I have a cloth where I wipe out the paint. You should have one, because you need to reduce the amount of water into those. And then sometimes you may need to lift off and then wipe it here and stuff like that. These are my developed brushes. These are my sketching brushes that I do outside, but you can have a brush like this, or maybe a rigger fine detail, maybe one round brush if you want to have for various strokes. But I'm more comfortable with you know having this brush. Bigger brushes solve a lot of problem. Maybe you can have nylon ones. These are also great. These are cheap, no, not very expensive at all. Okay, this is my palette. This is an old palette. This is like 24 years old. And generally, painting on plastic or spray painted metal is very difficult, because generally the water would eventually shrink to this size. But this, since it has been overused, it doesn't have that problem. Whatever I do, water will remain wherever it is. So I have a pool here, puddle, or whatever you want to call it. Then I can put the colors. So this is an old palette. So you can do, what you can do is, you can get some ceramic plates, or maybe buy an older palette from somebody who has been painting for a while. Don't need to have too many colors. One warm red, one cool red, one warm yellow, one cool yellow like lemon yellow, maybe one yellow ochre, that is secondary. You can mix yellow ochre kind of color with this, but this is just for convenience. And two blues, one cool, one warm. I have several blues here because of various benefits. One is Prussian blue, cobalt blue, cerulean blue, and this is ultramarine. These are now over. I'll refill them. And there are some other colors that you cannot readily mix all the time, and they are quite handy to have. Maybe a burnt sienna, or maybe a phthalo green, or maybe a sap green. you know all of these have been used quite extensively. So it's just for your convenience. But you can have, or you must have, one cool yellow, one warm red and cool red, and one warm blue and cool blue. All of these things are needed. This is my easel. I just lean it against something, maybe like this, maybe like this, and I stick my paper with these clips. And whenever they're buckling, whenever the first layer is done, I remove them. I start with the next painting, and when they're dry, then I can put them up there, and then again do the layers, then focus on other guys. So I am simultaneously working on two or three paintings. It's quite a good way, because you're not actually working on a painting even when it's drying. So let it dry, then you work on that. In the meantime, you can work on another painting. Try to use less water and more paint and more colors. Focus on more colors. When you put colors, focus on maybe in the initial layers, focus on maybe a part of red, then blue, then orange, and of the same value. And the kind of painting that I do in realism, my focus remains on value, shape, and color. Here, it seems it's different. The color mostly, then the shape, and then the value. So in this order, here color is predominant. So if you like this video, then please click the like button and also subscribe for future videos. and ring the bell icon so that you get notified when a new video has been uploaded. If you care to look at my other paintings, then my oil paintings, my drawings, then go to my website, www.kaustavandfineart.com. Hope this video has been useful. I thank you for your time. Take care.